Heman does not stop asking questions. He moves now from questioning God's purposes to declaring his own unbroken practice of prayer, even as the psalm refuses to resolve into comfort. This closing section stands as the darkest ending in the Psalter, and its meaning matters because Scripture lets it stand without correction. But unto thee have I cried, O Lord, and in the morning shall my prayer prevent thee. Psalm 88, verse 13. Heman returns to his own persistence after the rhetorical questions of verses 10 through 12. He has cried out to God, and he commits to continue. The word prevent, in the King James Version, carries its older sense of coming before. Heman means his prayer will meet God at the start of each day, arriving ahead of anything else. This verse shows that unanswered prayer does not always produce silence toward God. Sometimes it produces the opposite, a stubborn return to him every morning, regardless of what the previous day failed to bring. Lord, why castest thou off my soul? Why hidest thou thy face from me? Psalm 88, verse 14. Heman asks God why he rejects him and hides his face. This is no doubt whispered. It is confrontations spoken aloud to God himself. The question assumes a relationship strong enough to bear this kind of honesty. Heman does not walk away from God. He brings his hardest questions straight to God's presence, refusing to pretend the pain does not exist. I am afflicted and ready to die from my youth up. While I suffer thy terrors, I am distracted. Psalm 88, verse 15. Heman reveals that his affliction is not new. He has suffered since youth, meaning this psalm records the compounded weight of a lifetime, not a single crisis. The word distracted describes a mind pulled apart, unable to settle, worn down by prolonged exposure to what he calls God's terrors. Heman's suffering is chronic, not momentary, and Scripture records this reality without minimizing it. Thy fierce wrath goeth over me, thy terrors have cut me off. Psalm 88, verse 16. Heman describes God's wrath passing over him like floodwaters and God's terrors cutting him off. The language is severe, attributing his suffering to God's action against him. Whatever the exact nature of Heman's affliction, he interprets it as coming from God's hand, rather than from chance or human enemies alone. This verse shows that biblical faith allows a sufferer to name God as the source of pain, without losing covenant standing before him. They came round about me daily, like water. They compassed me about together. Psalm 88, verse 17. Heman pictures his troubles surrounding him like rising water, closing in from every side without relief. The repetition of round about and compassed me about together emphasizes total encirclement. There is no gap, no open side, no escape route visible to him. The image conveys complete enclosure by suffering that returns daily rather than lifting. Lover and friends hast thou put far from me, and mine acquaintance into darkness. Psalm 88, verse 18. The psalm's last verse repeats the isolation named earlier in verse 8, but intensifies it. Not only acquaintances, but loved ones and friends have been removed. And this removal is attributed again to God. The last word of the psalm, and preserved in the King James rendering, is darkness. Psalm 88 ends here, without resolution, without a turn toward praise, without a word of comfort answering Heman's questions. Scripture allows this ending.